don't know if I really love this decision.
Over the middle, got his man, and look at him go! Jalen Waddle for the touchdown!
Welcome to Inside Leverage, your gateway to the fascinating realm of the Miami Dolphins. Join us as we delve deep into the team's dynamic Super Bowl journey. We invite you to share your most scorching takes, unwind, and relish in our captivating experience.
Tagovailoa, blocked by Armstead, going, he's got him! He's got him! Tyreek Hill! And the Dolphins have come back!
A big play on the first one! Home run! Play one! To the house! What a start for the Dolphins!
It's Inside Leverage. We always gonna put on the show, baby. That's what we do.
Good evening, Fins fans. It's yours truly, Coach. Waiting for everybody else to show up, but I'm very thankful you guys have decided to spend some of your Friday Eve with us. We're going to be talking about, a lot of the happenings going on in Dolphin Land today. We got some trying to get caught up with the Odell Beckham situation. We have to talk about some controversial comments that with the Tyreek Hill posting of his goal of 2,000 yards. I don't know. I can't really tell you one way or another. I have my thoughts on it, but I'll reserve them until we get the crew in here, so we can kind of throw ideas off each other. You guys bear with me here. Having some technical difficulties. Give me 1 second. All right. So, last we heard, we had Odell Beckham come in and visit the Dolphins. Word on the street, quote unquote. They had a very productive meeting, and both sides are, they're interested in each other's services. So, will that kind of, will a contract come from that? Hard to say. We'll see. There's been a little bit of controversy or talk about where we stand, or where certain people stand on the addition of Odell Beckham. Welcome, Junior, to the show. You there, my brother?
Hey, what's going on? It's good to be back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man.
Yes,
So,
sir. Can you hear me
I've
clearly?
yeah, super clear, bro. Super clear. I was just kind of discussing a little bit sprinkling over some information as far as the Odell Beckham situation, and it seems like both sides are interested.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard anything other than that, or anything? Do you have any thoughts on that specifically?
Nothing. I didn't hear anything in particular about if there's any contracts or anything like that from Barry or anything, but the interest is definitely there. Um, I think it's a nice veteran option for us. I think he actually did pretty decent as a third option for the Ravens last year. I don't know what the numbers are, but he did pretty good. I
Let me
don't
see if I
think
can
for
pull those
me
up for you.
it doesn't stop me from getting. Yeah, I don't think for me it stops acquiring a guy in the first round if he's available, if no one's available, if that's an option. I think it's a short term thing. I think you wanna have the veteran possibly a guy similar to him that can learn from him, and of course with Tyreek and others. So, I think it's a good signing. It's a number three that we need to include a number four in John Smith. You know what I'm saying? So, let's do it. Let's sign. As long as it's a fair deal, doesn't hurt our compensation pick. I'm down for it, man. I like the pick.
Yeah, no.
I
So
like it.
here's I don't know if you can see it on the screen there, but there were his stats. These are Odell's stats from last year, while he played for the Ravens. Basically 565. The biggest thing for me here, is the yardage, and I don't know where it was that I saw it. Somebody had posted something on social media comparing Odell's statistics as far as yardage to our, what was it, our fourth, fifth, and sixth, or third, fourth, and fifth receiver, and
Right.
how that compared, where Odell had much more robust numbers, or a higher number, I should say robust, but a higher number than those three guys combined. So that to me is a plus. Welcome to the show, Mr. French.
Hey man, well, hey, I'm trying to make deals. I'm trying to make it happen.
Hey man, that's what it's all about.
I heard Odell
So
was in South Florida, so I'm trying to let it plane.
Oh, he's in your vicinity, man. So you try. Okay, I feel it. I feel it. I feel it.
hey, did you take him out on that yacht over there or what?
Yeah.
I mean, you know a little Las Olas, a little boatyard, little couple conversations. That's how you get that's how you get the conversation started.
Bing bang. That's what I'm saying. So French, what do you think of potentially adding Odell? Although he's an older guy, but I think he can help the wide receiver room. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
I like it. I need an older guy who knows what he's doing, who knows where to be, who got that little veteran savvy on a breakdown play to be able to make a play. Let's be able to add that with some potential rookies, and we cooking with fish grease again.
Yeah, I went back. I don't know if you guys have had the chance to do
Facts.
that, but
And I think
Go ahead. Go ahead, Junior. No, you're good. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead. Well,
No, what I was gonna say is that I went back
I
and
was gonna say so
you got a massive delay, bro.
yeah, I think that's what it is. My bad.
Why don't you? Yeah, go ahead. If you want, just drop out and come back in. I'll let you back up. Yeah, the internet's tripping. Hey, shout out to West Coast. Appreciate you, fam. We're doing what we can. French, you there? Can you hear me, or do you need to drop out too?
Oh no, I'm good. I was waiting for you to make
All right,
that
good.
point with. I was waiting for you to make that
my
point
bad.
with.
No. It's fine. It's fine. I thought maybe you had the same issue that Junior was having. So, French, you better now. We're good.
Is there no delay?
Yes, I think we're good now. Are you
All
okay?
right, yes.
Awesome. So anyway, what I was trying to say is that I was watching some of his highlight video of last year, and look, let's be frank. If you're presented with the receivers, the third, fourth, and fifth receivers that we had last year, versus what Odell can currently bring to the table, I'm not talking about just the name Odell, but just what he can currently bring. Just watching what he did last year for Baltimore, would you not say that that's an upgrade?
I think so. I think that type of production helps us in the offense. It helps Tyreek, it helps Waddle. It makes the receiver room versatile. He can be on the inside, he can be on the outside. The only issue is the injury aspect of it. Um, but he's saying he's in a really good bill of health. So I mean, if you look at the positives, it is an upgrade from what we had last year as far as what he did production wise. So with him and then whoever other young receiver we acquire, whether it be 21, 55, or later in the draft, whatever, wherever, I'm assuming that we're still going to acquire another guy to kind of groom and help learn the offense. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they
Yes.
share the snaps. You know what I'm saying? Learn from the veteran. Look at the veteran, man. You're learning behind him. See how he does it, because he produced at a high level, and even as he is now, he's still productive. So I can see it does it is a definite improvement for our offense, and it's going to make it that much better in the passing game.
And Mechanic, when you talk about that, what he also brings to the locker room, coach, as far as just the veteran savvy, being able to be one with Tua, understanding what the offensive trying to do, because he came from that scheme when he was with the Rams. So, I mean, just being able to help communicate to the other guys and also just be a leader. I mean, that those are intangibles.
Oh, I agree. I agree. I know there was a lot of chatter about him possibly, I don't know, being a distraction in the locker room, and having him and Tyreek in there, like all this. It's just funny because it's always a certain, I hate to say type of person, but a certain group of people, or that always seem to lean towards the negative of any situation that has to do with this team. I personally do not advocate being such a pessimistic person. I would rather think things and look at things in a positive manner, or just in a realistic manner, not so much lean towards the negative side. Uh, you know, Football's supposed to be fun. It's life is hard. Life has a lot of trials and tribulations. You're not going to get all bent out of shape because, you have an opinion that a certain player should not be getting paid, or a certain GM is not doing the job that they're supposed to do, or whatnot. So,
Well,
um,
one of the things I want to
go ahead.
add to that, coach, is when you're doing it right and you're playing football right, it is fun. When you're scoring points, it is fun. When the defense getting off the field on third downs, it is fun. It's when you're not doing the things you're not supposed with. It's when you're not doing the things you're supposed to be doing, or when you're not doing the things you're supposed to do, is when you get into all other situations, and drama gets involved, and chirps out of the locker room happen. But when you're winning, and Will was putting up the massive yards at the beginning of the season, it was all funny games at that point.
Yeah, I agree. You know, yeah, I at first, I look. I have to be honest. You guys know I like to be and like say things the way that they are. When I first heard the name and I saw that he was available, I said, "This guy." My first reaction was, "This guy's washed. What's the point?" The controversy. That was a lazy opinion of mine until made the effort. I took the effort and took the initiative and started doing some research and looking and reading, and it kind of get it. Once I got the data, it changed my opinion about adding this type of player to the offense that we have. So on that same kind of vein, let me kind of pivot away from that. My opinion as far as the draft, this is still, if it does happen, and it looks like it's trending that way. If it does happen that we sign Odell, um, I'm not going to shy away from drafting a wide receiver. What do you guys think about
Agreed.
that?
I agree, and I teased it earlier. It doesn't stop me, because let's be real. Like you said, he's an older veteran. He's not gonna be the young guy, the explosive guy that he was before. He's dealt with injuries, but he does bring a little bit of an upgrade into what we're looking for. He may not be that 1,000-yard guy, but man, last year he gave the Ravens 562. That's If we can incorporate that into our offense, we'll be productive. Tua will have 3 more touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? So, um, but it's a short-term thing. It's a short-term deal. Um, I think it's kind of like a stopgap as well. I don't know if he's. I heard. Here's a cool thing I learned earlier. Shout out to Neil Driscoll. and Z-Man, Z-Man had a space earlier, and they were talking about, Odell Beckham possibly coming in. Neil is lives in Baltimore. He's really in the know with the Ravens and what's going on. They say that he is a leader. He's always at the hip of the quarterback, motivating everybody, and that's why Lamar was urging his head coach to pick him up, and they did, and it benefited. So if you can bring that type of leadership into the Dolphins and a young guy in Brian Thomas or Leggett or McCorley, whoever we acquire at the draft, you bring that and they can learn under him. I think that's going to be a recipe for success. So, he brings so many advantages coming in. Hopefully, we can get him signed at a decent price that works for both parties.
I agree. Before I move on, I would shout out to all our viewers right now. If you like the content, make sure you follow us on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it nowadays. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're on every social media platform. Make sure that you subscribe to the podcast, which is exclusively on Fans First Sports Network. We always try to bring you guys up to date information, great content, great entertainment. That's what we strive to do, and we do it all for you guys, the people who watch us and are consistently loyal to the stuff that we bring. French, so something else that again, keeping with the wide receiver theme, Tyreek was in social media today, and there was I want to say some buzz that he is putting his goals out there for everyone to see. And apparently that has become a problem to some of the fan base. I have some thoughts, but I'll reserve them at the moment. I want to hear your thoughts, you guys' thoughts and opinions on that. Let's start with French.
What I would say to that, if Tyreek catches the footballs that he dropped last season, he does have 2,000 yards. So if we're going to analyze it from him being more complete this season and making key catches and key drives and catching touchdowns and not dropping touchdowns, I'm all with the 2,000 yards.
I'm with you there. I think there are some negatives and positives of it. You can kind of look at both and kind of, I can't be mad at fan bases that are our fan base that feel like, oh no, here we go. The self goals, the selfish goals and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I get it because it felt like we were trying to do that last year, and it felt like Tyreek was the focal point way too much on the offense last year. But people can argue that you're paying this guy a lot of money, so it's kind of justified for him to get those many reps. But again, you can go back and forth and say you can't be predictable because that's what it felt like, it was last year. We got to throw it to Tyreek. We got to throw it to Tyreek. You know what I'm saying? And despite Waddle having 1,000 yards, it didn't feel like he was as involved as much as he was the first year. Now he was dealing with injuries. So there's some good and bad things to it. What I see and how I see it, if his goal is to have that 2,000 yards, do it strategically. You don't have to be getting the volume of touches. Get more explosive plays. It don't have to be 12, 8, 10 catches for 100. Why not 5? Why not 4? Why not 6? Let's go under. But the explosive plays, that one play for 64 yards and then another play for whatever, you know what I'm saying? You can get to that point. You just got to do it strategically. And you can involve other players. So, I mean, there's so many ways to skin a cat, man. But you can that only helps our offense anyway. So, it only helps our offense anyway.
No, no, I agree. I agree, but this is so my I should say my issue. This is my point. A and Nick actually one of our viewers on Twitter, and I'll put the comment right back up. What's wrong with having personal goals? There's absolutely nothing wrong with having personal goals.
Nothing.
Okay?
Yep.
At all. At all. That's A. I have no problems with that because a guy wants to be the top dog. Okay? I mean, what's worse? Would you rather him post a picture of him being on the beach and say, "Oh, I can't wait," or like I don't understand people. And this is and I'm not going to pivot, but I'm going to kind of segue into what I have a problem with. My biggest problem is when you have people specifically in the media, and technically we are content creators, we are kind of, I guess, part of the media, if you want to say, not credentialed media, but we are content creators. We speak on the team. We have colleagues and guests that are part of the media. My biggest problem is when you have certain people in the media and to a lesser extent fans that take this opportunity and pile on and start to bash a certain player, thinking that that player is being selfish because they are click hoarding. They want to get their attention for them to make money. And that is the kind of stuff that makes me absolutely sick. It makes me sick. Because if the guy is in the news for his domestic issues, it's a problem. If the guy gets on Instagram and says, "Oh, I want to have 2,000 yards," it's a problem. If the guy takes a picture or there's video of him working out in Paris against defensive backs in Paris, it's a problem. Like, I'm not here to tell you how to fan. I'm not here to tell you how to do your job as a media member. But that's I think what's wrong today is that we live and die on every single piece of information that gets put out, and everything becomes a story. I think a couple weeks ago, Nick Hicks had said something to the effect of, he was going to help Tua lose weight or get quicker, this and that. Boom! There was this huge explosion on Twitter that a bunch of different how do I say, a bunch of different outlets were saying, "Oh, this is what, Nick Hicks is going to do this. He's going to make him faster. He's going to rush it." And he came out and said, "What? Not everything has to be a story." And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right.
Yeah. I think
so
that,
we've
I
gotten
think
to the point that it's ridiculous, man.
It's just the way the world works now, man. I don't know if it's just a slow time for these medias.
I agree.
Any little thing, you know how it is, especially with Tua and then Tyreek recently being on the news quite frequently, whether it's his fault, not his fault, in between. It's like, you got to make it spicy in whatever your company is as far as social media and trying to bring in the clicks. As much of people say Tyreek is a clickbaiter, they are clickbaiters themselves because they want to put anything out there. So it's crazy. It's crazy.
And look, and I know that there's the aspect of interaction because that's how you make money or that's how you get your word out or your brand or XYZ. I get that. But it gets to a point where it's just absolutely ridiculous and you lose credibility when you see this kind of stuff. We have certain people coming out and saying, let's say one person, X reporter says, "Oh, the Dolphins are going to have salary cap issues, XYZ." And then here comes another person, the regurgitation of the news. This person and this person and this person. And, reporter X meant one thing, but by the time it's just, the rule of gossip, right? The story starts on one thing, but by the time it gets around to you, it's a whole different story. So, it does it's a little exhausting, to be honest with you. But to me, it bothers me because, like, man, these guys can't win. They absolutely can't win.
Well, Coach, let's just say the truth. We drop numbers. We get numbers. Any kind of Dolphin interaction gets numbers on Twitter. So people use us at any juncture to move the algorithm or to get any kind of traction. So, I mean, you got to live and die by the fame of it all. But, we got to also use these platforms to tell our truth and, give context to every situation, and we do a
Absolutely.
great job at it.
It
Absolutely.
has to be a
Absolutely.
balance because you're speaking too much of your truth. The world and everyone thinks differently. Everyone's gonna think your truth is positive, and then there's gonna be some that think your truth is negative and a distraction.
Correct.
So
Correct. Correct.
at some point, a balance needs to. I don't need to say too much or need to put too much out there, but when I have to, for the sake of a purpose, for an agenda that's beneficial, you know what I'm saying? And that's the key. It
Bingo.
can't be. It can't be. Of course, it's a self, but it has to. You have to make it beneficial to where it's positive. You know what I'm saying? And some people
Yes.
may not look at it that way, but overall, you got to find a way. It's a hard thing to do, man. I don't envy them. I don't envy them. I'm a low key guy. I don't like to be out there in the world. I feel like, you put on notice. Now everybody's watching. Now everybody wants to see what you're doing. They look at every move because you're being out. You're putting yourself out there sometimes. So
No, no
that's
doubt.
the
Listen, that's part of being an athlete and somebody in the public eye. I get that. I understand that. But
yeah.
again, we can go the political route. We can go the, this like the social route. When people come out and they say something, I mean, there's been a million times where a statement is made, and only let's say it's a 5-minute statement made, but people will clip a certain and say, oh, so and so said this. Like, wait a minute, like, take as the consumer, the one that's consuming the information, you should take the extra step and say, oh man, okay, let me see what else he said. What was the context of this? And that word context it's a huge word, because that's something that we here, us, take a lot of pride in, because there's always context to everything. Don't take things for what they mean on the surface. And that's, to me, I'm sorry that I'm ranting and raving about this. Maybe it's the old man in me, but it gets aggravating, because, like, man, this is not what this means. Or, like, why are you going to jump down a player's back because the guy has a goal of 2,000? Okay, and wait, I promise I'll stop on this. There's also the aspect of the coach is going to put in his game plan, and actually, OG actually brought this up in the chat here on the YouTube chat. The coach is going to put in his game plan. If the guy is always open, and I understand the whole aspect of you got to spread the ball around for a million reasons. I get that. I've watched the game plenty, and I've coached it, and I understand that aspect of it. But dude, he is arguably probably the best player on the planet. Okay, and if he's open, you got to get him the ball.
Listen.
So how do you balance that?
Listen. Just because he has a goal for himself, that does not mean they're not going to spread the ball around. Why are we so binary in that aspect of it? Just because he wants 2K does not mean Waddle's not going to eat. Possibly what's his name? Jonnu's not going to eat, and other people. It just means he has a self goal. There's ways to approach it, like I mentioned before, or even if he gets a volume of catches, Waddle can still eat with less catch. Look at how many less catches he had and how many yards he's gained throughout the whole season. What was it? 72 at one point for 13 plus, 75 another for 10,000 K, like. There's ways to still spread the ball. We just got to make sure that we're not predictable. We got to make sure that everybody's eating to allow Tyreek to get to that point. And it's going to be a good thing for us regardless, because that helps us win games and helps us get to the playoffs and even further. So, I mean, you know me, I'm always positive about it. I understand the negative. I understand the bad part of it. But there's a lot more positive going to it than the negative to me.
No, I agree.
And just to add to that, on the route to 2K, Tua led the league in passing. So if on the route to 2K we lead the league in passing again, look how that led and set up the season for us to be ahead of the division and be, let me simulate this season again next year with a 3-game league going into the end of the season.
Exactly.
And to lead the league in passing. I need that.
It's setting us up for the playoffs. We just got to get it done. That's it. That's the whole point of the season, right? I'm just saying.
Absolutely. Yep. That's it. You get through it. Hopefully, the biggest thing is health. Of course, we've talked about it a million times, keeping everybody healthy. But I think that Mike, I'm hoping that Mike is, this is a growth process for him too. He's growing as a coach. He's learning the nuances and strategy, and as far as like, hopefully he can get to the point where he can spread the ball around a little more. But like, I'm not gonna get mad because a player, he's striving for greatness, man. Like, what do you want to be average? You want these guys to be average and think that they want to stay average? I mean, it's just whatever. It's ridiculous to me. Anyhow, I'm done. I'm done now. I'm done with my rant.
Hey, listen, man, it's frustrating sometimes. That's why my approach now. Listen, I can't convince anybody. I understand conversations always had. That's how perspectives gets understood. Um, at the end of the day, if people see things a certain way and you know that person, you can't change their mind, or they can't at least understand or hear what you're saying. I just leave it alone, man. I try to, at least, because it's no point anymore. Not that I used to be the one. Oh no, I gotta say something, man, because you're wrong, and here's why. I don't know, man. I just can't do it because we're always gonna continue to have this conversation about this person looking at this in a certain way. It's like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So it's whatever.
Right.
It.
No, it's very much like, having a political, what they say. You don't talk about sex, politics, and what's the other thing? And religion with people.
Right.
But anyways, at your workplace, you can talk whatever. Anyway, so my point is, you can have your opinion about certain things, and then the other person is going to come in with an opposite, a different opinion. Um, is it worth getting into a shouting match? Is it worth, because you want to impose your opinion, and maybe are you trying to change the other person's opinion? Like, what happened to just having normal dialogue, man, and having difference of opinion? It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, yes, there's a right and a wrong, but whatever. I mean, it's a lot longer conversation that probably we have time for. So,
I mean, it's all about the facts. It's all about the facts at the end of the day. What does the facts say? What does what does this say, and how do you interpret that? And unfortunately, people interpret facts very differently, surprisingly, and it's like, based on that, that's in your we can, yeah, it's all good.
I'm telling you, man, it's complicated. It's
Yeah.
complicated. It's complicated. It really is. So on that note, I want to make sure that again, make sure you guys follow, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Next week is going to be a big week for us. We have a surprise guest joining us. We haven't really secured the date yet, but make sure you follow us on social media. We will be letting everybody know what day and who it is, but it's a huge guest that we're going to have. And we're also striving for, I know last playback, that we tried having a playback. We were supposed to do a giveaway, and we had some technical difficulties. Where I'm hoping that they've been resolved, and we can get that done. Make sure you download the playback app, and that automatically enrolls you. Let us know by screenshotting and following our account. It'll enroll you to a raffle. We'll be giving away a T-shirt, some gear for the next season. So make sure you do that. We'll be keeping an eye on that, and then we'll have French, the raffle organizer and announcer, announce it on playback. To be determined what day it is, but we'll be on there that day. On that note, any other things you guys want to talk about or bring up, or?
Well, for hopefully we can kind of figure out what's the move as far as a third option, receiver wise. Hopefully it's Odell. If not, maybe another guy that's prominent that we can get on a 1-year deal and then we can continue to kind of elevate the offense. We have Janu, which I think is a great pickup. Third option receiver will be very nice to um, complete the whole offense as far as being a threat. And whether that's a free agent, a draft, or both, let's get it done. I can't wait to see what's the next step for us. So I'm excited.
What do you think, French? French 8.
No, I'm here right now.
There he is.
I was
Okay,
just
go ahead.
thinking. I was just gonna say, we'll just see. I'm interested to see what Chris Greer do. We got the draft coming up, but as far as whether it's Odell, whether it's Mike, whether it's some other guy we don't know, let's just keep adding depth to this roster because we never know you're gonna be at in December and January.
Yeah, we got a suggestion of trading a late pick for Cortland Sutton. What do you guys think about that?
Didn't he get released, or am I tripping?
No, I think that's the other guy. That's the corner from Detroit got released.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah, he's the one that got they had like this something came out and like I think it was like a bulletin or something and they had the names incorrect and everybody was laughing at it because they had the player, from what I mean, like the name was inverted or whatever. It was pretty funny.
right. Well, I mean,
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second.
yo,
We got the birthday boy in the house.
That was good.
What up, boy? How we
Y'all
feeling,
chilling, man? What y'all got going, man?
Chilling, bro. Just checking in on you, bro. Make sure we got gonna sing you happy birthday, man.
Oh, man, watch out.
Yes, sir. Did you get your AARP card yet?
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man. How we do? How we celebrating today, bro? Or what?
Yes, sir, man. I'm out with the fam right now, man. About to make some runs and get into some things, man. Just picked up the cake and all that, so about to get into the festivities.
All right, man. Yeah, I just I'm glad you were able to come through, check in. We wanted to get you on here on wax, as we say. Make sure we knew everybody. We appreciate you today. Today's your day, man. So, and I'm sure a lot of everybody else out there is. I'm checking the comments now. Panda says Chad woke up from his birthday nap.
Hey, yo.
Chad's birthday naps every day, bro.
I ain't slept all day, man. I've been up.
Damn.
Hey man, we need to get Chris Greer to get Odell Beckham, man, for Chad's birthday, Paul.
Hey, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. I was kind of hoping the deal fall through, man. Let's see what happened, though.
it's never too late. You feel me? It's never too
Nah,
late.
man. I try. Hey, look, man. You know what y'all know what I'm on. So you feel me? Like, hey, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
But yeah, man.
So did you get a visit from the UPS man yet?
Not yet, man. I'm waiting on them.
All
Appreciate
right,
you guys, man. You guys are amazing, man. Shout out to everybody out there, man. Leave Tyreek alone. Let him chase his goals. We're going to get this money. It's going to be good, man. Appreciate the birthday shout out. Appreciate you, Doc.
Yeah, man. Go do your thing, bro. I know you're busy.
All right, man. I'll get up with y'all boys.
One love.
Yo.
Yeah, man. So, anyway, yeah, not much more to talk about, man. To be honest with you, you got, I think everybody's on that Odell watch right now. So,
yeah, man, we'll be back when some more news drop, man. We got some other names percolating, and it's gonna be fun in the next couple of days, man. Let's enjoy the ride.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On that note, back to my trade. So, all right. So, OG Ennis wants to talk about his Cortland Sutton trade, a late draft pick to a late trade. What do you think for a late draft pick? Feasible, not feasible? What do you think? What are we doing? What's you guys' opinion before we get out of here?
It depends on what. It's gonna be hard because we I don't know, man. I have to think about that one. That's a next because you know me, I can't just quickly say yes or no. I gotta really look at it. You feel me? So
Yeah, no,
I
for
would,
sure. What do you think, French? I think French wants a fullback. That's what he wants.
Nah, I'm gonna keep my pick. I'm not making no trade for him.
You
Keep my
wouldn't trade
pick and
you
draft
wouldn't trade a
somebody.
7th round pick for him?
Nah, man. I'm gonna keep my picks.
What about a pick for next year? A next year pick?
Nah, man, because I'm trying to hit like Mr. Irrelevant. I need everybody. I need everybody to hit.
Wow. All right. So we're gonna hoard picks like the Celtics did. We have assets. So we have a lot of assets. Hopefully we can, get somebody that caliber with the 7th round pick. But on that note, any final thoughts before we get out of here, guys?
let Greer cook. That's all I got.
Yeah, no hyperventilating on the timeline, man. No fear mongering. Don't let them fear. Don't let them fear you, man. This is gonna be a great season, man.
Everybody
Too about to get that contract too. I can't wait for that news to drop.
Everybody needs to just relax, bro. Relax.
Patience.
Practice patience, man. Just relax. We'll be good. Just let Greer cook. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, make sure you subscribe. Make sure that you turn your notifications on. Big week next week. Can't let the cat out the bag, but it's going to be interesting. Make sure you tune in. Peace. Be nice if I can find the answer. Here we go. Peace out.